terms of the transportation bill, there was an item in the telegram the other day that said it could actually cost more to transfer the MBTA retirement system into the others. How could it cost more?
Because what happens when you merge, and school districts have the same problem when you're merging unions. You most often have to take the best part of each of their contracts.
So it's not the MBTA that's merging; it's everybody else coming up to their one.
It could be. But the governor's also looking, from what I heard him say today, to get rid of the 23-year rule, that if you work 23 years, you can get out and get a pension regardless.
That has to be embarrassing. It really has to be embarrassing.
I lived my 20 years at 39. I never thought I was going to be able to retire from the legislature. You know, I think, again, it's a culture change. It's a way of thinking. When all this was bargained, or when all this was put into place, this was decades ago. And I don't think people worked as long as they do now. And so you didn't have 18-year-olds coming in to start working. I mean, I started working at the State House when I was 19. That doesn't happen an awful lot, you know. So, but I also know that the group I'm in, which is like 1 or 2 or something, I'm going to have to work till I'm in my 50s. So forget the 20-year thing. You know, that's just going to, my age is going to hurt it for me. People are getting upset because they want what they're used to. You know, some of the retirees got upset because they had to pay for health care. And they were never used to paying for health care before. But these are the times that we can't afford to pay for everybody's health care. We can't. Which is why we have health care reform, and we're forcing people to go on the connector and forcing people to pay what they can.
Jen, I apologize for being late.
Anything for you, Mr. Gym Teacher?
Well, now listen. You're a responsible adult now. So you can call me Rick. In regards to the governor's letter on the 28th of January, I believe, to the legislature regarding health care.
Okay.
I believe he called it the Massachusetts Municipal Bill.
Okay, that's part of, I think that's part of his municipal package.
Yeah, part of his package. His claim is it's going to strengthen the Commonwealth's partnership with its municipalities. It's a move to all eligible retirees to Medicare coverage.
It's essentially trying.
Can you explain that to me? Because even though I paid into Social Security, I'm not qualified for Medicare.
Yeah, it's another way. It's sort of like the fact that the state wants everyone to go into the GIC. It's a way to capture more people into it, and so he thinks that if we do this and we allow everyone to get Medicare, it's going to be cost effective and it's going to be cheaper. The truth of the matter is, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for everybody, and that's why I think when you see the hearings that come through, you're going to see from the smaller towns, it's not going to work. We don't see the cost effectiveness there.
Also, his claim is we want to choose the cheapest health care for retirees. We're all getting older. We all need the health care now. When we were younger and healthier, we didn't need it. We didn't need the coverage. Now that we need it, he wants to reduce it. Am I understanding that?
That's what it appears to be. Unless he had a different reasoning for it, that's what it appears to be, is it just based upon a dollar figure, which I don't understand, because I would think you'd have to pay a little bit more for your specialists. And, you know, I mean, I have Tufts, and, you know, I pay higher co-pays if I see a cardiologist or if I see a podiatrist rather than see my general doctor. So it appears it's what he's trying to say, but I don't think it's going to go through. I don't see where the cost savings is going to be.
I was late. Has the state received any federal money of the disaster in December?
Not yet. There's actually a meeting tomorrow with NEMA, with Don Boyce from NEMA. A lot of the, some of the holdup is that we're now seeing the damage we didn't see before, right, because everything's been uncovered. So we're still trying to have the cities and towns are tallying up the cost of the damage cleanup.
And how will that process work? It'll go. Okay.
Well, no, the federal piece of it is that the feds, once the cities and towns are done collecting the receipts and how much if they paid out for extra police or fire or whatever, it's going to be submitted. And once it's submitted, the 75% that comes down from the feds, it's the 25% that we have to try to push the state to get. whether, I mean, I'm asking if we can get the stimulus money. I don't know if we can because it's a one-time thing. We don't know if we can get it through the rainy day fund because our rainy day fund is being, you know, it's going down lower and lower because we've had to just help cities and towns get through FY09. And if we go down much lower, our bond ratings can be affected by that. So tomorrow we'll know more once Don Boyce lets us know. But really the cities and towns, I think, are coming up on the deadline, so they have to keep their fingers together.
Do you know, we're talking about the cleanup, do you know if the state has a plan for how they're going to clean up the land that they own? I asked specifically, like you come down Route 12, which is at least from center of town to Leominster line is a state highway. And the whole place is a disaster. There are guardrails that are down, the trees that are barely hanging off the road. And that's, you know, that's the state's land.
We don't know if there's a process, whether it's hardest hit, or we don't have that yet. Because like I said, with everything just becoming uncovered, and with the snow and ice removal money that still had to be paid out, we don't know what the plan is yet. We'll probably know more tomorrow once we meet with MEMA and FEMA.
Is that the sort of thing that Mass Highway would be in charge of if it's on a, literally on a Mass Highway land?
It's Mass Highway or DCR or who takes what road. That's what it's going to depend on. If they don't hurry up, Mass Tran's going to take care of it all. But yeah, we'll find out more. I forget what time we meet with them tomorrow, but we'll find out more tomorrow.
So, because I think one of the fears that I have is that, you know, the town may do their part, but you know, if the state drags its feet, not that Sterling's a bustling business community, but you know, if I drive down, you know, the main street from the highway and the town looks like a disaster because all the trees are down, you know, I mean, is that?
But quite frankly, it's not going to hurt us right now while we're going through the process. That we look like disasters because that's how much cleanup we have to get done, and that helps. Because when we were, you have to realize when we were in the middle of the storm and we had MEMA and FEMA out here, we kept saying, look at this, look at this, look at this. And then sort of the undertone was, well, guess what's going to happen when all the snow goes away? You know, wait till we really see what the damage is because we've been plowing the stuff off the sides and not knowing what's under it. That may help us. So, but those are the types of things that my office, Representative Naughton, you know, Representative Benson, and Representative Hargraves and everybody has been working on. The storm cleanup and Unitil are the two major local issues that we've been focusing on.
Do you have a general timeline? Nothing. So
We'll tomorrow.
Well, beyond that, this stuff that was been collected and deposited in our yards, that's going to stay there until the state does something about it? Is that
well, I mean, it depends. A lot of the cities, I don't know what the towns, the cities are telling you to put it on the edge of your sidewalk in the trash will take it. Or
it won't happen here.
Right.
Yeah.
Or there have been designated areas that people are allowed to take it on city land. I know Leominster's still doing Doyle Field. You can just drop it off at Doyle Field.
Well, like some communities did an outstanding job with
Yeah.
that. Leominster's one of them.
Well, we have the room. I mean, Fitchburg is now, I think, doing the same thing.
And you should be complimented on your work on Unity. However, we need the help in Sterling.
No, we know.
We need to get the local government to do something, to get off the dime and spend some money and pick this stuff up. Because we didn't put it there, and I don't think our municipal light company put it there, right?
Right.
And I know Brother Bloom has a lot in his yard, and I have a lot in my yard, and I believe everybody probably
Well, I think part of it was that cities were afraid to spend the money in the beginning because they didn't know what they were going to
They
get
didn't know
back.
what's the reimbursement.
Waiting to secure from you.
Townsend, I think, was one of the biggest where they were like, I forget the number they spent, but it was like a majority of their budget. It was awful. The higher up you went, Townsend, Ashby, Westminster, it was worse than down here. I mean, we thought it was bad here. The further we went, of course, I did tell Leominster and Fitchburg next time we're looking for generators, we're going to Ashby because everyone up there has them. Representative Rice and I went from house to house in a couple places, and they were all, "Hi, how you doing? What's it?" And it's like they were all prepared for the worst.
But that's Ashby.
Well, we won't. No. Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Ashby, Townsend, Lunenburg, and Pittsburgh. But we won't know until we talk to MEMA and FEMA what the possibilities are, and then your local elected officials will be able to get that information from